Listen to these other niggas, man. You ain't even fucking with you, bro. You motherfucking bombs, you spit that real shit you dropping. That's what niggas need the motherfucking hip hop right now. All these niggas talking about this motherfucking popping mom and getting wet. These niggas loving thoughts, man. Fuck all that bullshit, man. You a real motherfucking nigga. Keep dropping that real shit, and niggas gonna get on with that shit. Niggas need to get their boots laced up. Niggas need to get their motherfucking crazy, throw that beard out. Niggas need that soldier shit. You bringing that motherfucking shit, man. Keep saying what you saying. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, we need real niggas and you the last real nigga left. My nigga, got side one. One West City buried me. Y'all already know what it is. The rest of you bitch ass niggas out there, fuck. They don't want no smoke, what I tell them? Fuck them up. Pull up to their show, what you tell them? Fuck them up. Hit them with the pole, what we tell them? Fuck them up. They don't want no crowd. They don't want no smoke, what I tell them? Fuck them up. Pull up to their show, what we tell them? Fuck them up. Hit them with the pole, what we tell them? Fuck them up. They don't want no crowd. You know my motto is fuck them, that's all I gotta say. Scope on a rifle that'll stop me from a mile away. Still getting women drunk off Hennessy and Alizé. Still with the niggas loading hollow tips inside the cage. Still be on that same shit, but I gotta change with it. Multiplying bitches, man, I see me with the same bitch. But you might see me riding 95 North in a black Mitsubishi 195 horse. Power with no sour, couple bottles there, of course. R.I.P. to all my fallen riders in the morgue. Yeah, you know I got the juice, know I got the sauce. And then super fly, full of fire in the Porsche. I don't need a molly just to pop her out of drawers. Shorty didn't make it cause she know that I'm the ball. Ready for the karma, man, I'm ready for the war. If he talking reckless, he ain't really love his jaw. Fuck him to the DA, fuck him to the law. Fuck him cause they got my brother stuck behind them bars. Fuck him to the PD, fuck him to the force. Fuck him to the haters just without the intercourse. They don't want no smoke, what I tell them? Fuck them up. Pull up to their show, what you tell them? Fuck them up. Hit them with the flow, what we tell them? Fuck them up. They don't want no... Shalom Israel, we are the Isupk under Commander General Yohana, coming out of 125th Street, 1 West Harlem, New York. We are not affiliated with no other group, and this is the Sabbath service. Let's get it right into it. Give me Matthew 5 and 17, Duana. And read when you get there, Duana. Because, you know, Christianity being as wicked that it is, it teaches our people not to keep the laws. You know, and we have to keep the laws. We have to do what the Lord commands us to do. And with that being said, you know, they teach that the laws is done away with. And the laws is not done away with. They never was and they never have been and they never will. You know, it's like your father giving you a rule in the house and he telling you to keep this rule, and just because you broke them or you don't keep the rule that he set for you, don't mean that his rules don't stop. That don't mean he ain't gonna have no more rules. So with that being said, we're gonna get into the verse. Isaiah 5 and 17, Shalaki. Yeah, Matthew 5 and 17. What I say, Isaiah? Oh, Shalaki. Matthew 5 and 17.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17.
Speaking to the mic, though.
Think not that I've come to destroy the law.
He said, think not that I come to destroy the law. Continue.
Or the prophets.
Okay.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
See, Christ said out of his mouth, think not that I come to destroy the law. Christianity gonna tell you that the law is destroyed. The law has never been destroyed. The law is not destroyed, and it never will be destroyed. Just like that analogy I gave you with your father's rules in his house. You know, they will never be destroyed. You know, just because you don't keep them, now you can make a choice not to keep your father's laws, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a number of consequences that transpire from there. But, you know, as for the most part, you know,
You know, his laws is not done away with. And that's what Christ said. He said, my laws is not done away with. You know, the laws of the Most High are not done away with. So with that being said, you know, you got to keep that in mind because you know, we got to keep these laws. And that's why we're in the position that we're in now, because we're not keeping these laws. These laws is a must and a requirement for the chosen people of Israel. And if you ain't going to keep them, you're going to further be cursed. You know, you're going to further reap the curses that the Lord set before us for his chosen people that choose not to follow the laws. So with that being said, we're going to continue with that verse. Continue, it's more on that.
Chapter 8, verse 18?
Yeah, read 18 too.
Verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
He said until heaven and earth pass. Have heaven been done away with? You know, have the earth been done away with? You know, meaning when the kingdom comes, that's when there will be probably established a new law. But for right now, till those things happen, Revelations is still in effect. Revelations is still taking place. We still in Revelations. You know, Revelations ain't done yet. You know, Christ didn't come yet. He said until heaven and earth pass away, one jot or one tittle from the law in no wise will be destroyed, you know, or be done away with. Meaning, you got to still keep these laws. One jot, one letter, one tittle, one word, you know, shall in no ways be removed from the law. You know, Christ didn't come and do away. He came to fulfill the law, to show you that the law can be fulfilled.
Right.
That you can keep the law, that you can be perfect, meaning not to transgress against the law. You can do those things. You know, and Christ let you know right then and there. He said, until one jot or one tittle in no way shall pass from the law. So, you know, with that being said, give me Leviticus 19 and 16. We're going to get into some of these laws then. Since we know right there, that verse lets us know that we still got to keep the laws. We still got to do things the Most High told us to do. And that's why you see our people strung out on drugs. That's why you see our people drunkards and alcoholics. That's why you see our people smoking weed and popping mollies and popping Percocets and doing fentanyl and lean and different stuff like that. We on every drug in the world. You know, simply because the white man pushed it in our communities. And the white man is starving the mess out of us. So with starvation and oppression, all you got to do is put drugs in that community wherever those people been oppressed at, and all they're going to do is use the drugs or try to sell the drugs to get out of the community where the people is using the drugs that they pushing and selling to their people. You know, the white man did that. That's a trap. He did all of that. You know, back in the 60s and 70s, he flooded the black community with drugs. The black man wasn't no crackhead. The black man used to work from sun up to sundown. He was never lazy. He was never a crackhead. He never did, pretty much, he kept the laws. He knew what to do. You know, for the most part, you know, give me that verse. So we're going to get into some laws that Israel need to keep. Leviticus 19 and 16, give me that law, Leviticus 19 and 16, because they're not understanding that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, being the chosen people of God, not understanding that they have to keep these laws. They have to do what the Most High said. They have to. Or we're going to be leading the nations in diabetes. We're going to be leading the world in AIDS. We're going to be leading the world in high blood pressure. We're going to be doing all these things because why? Because we're the chosen people and we got to keep them laws, statutes, and commandments. You know, you got that law for me out?
Come on.
Go ahead and read that for me.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people.
He said, thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer. Now, we see this a lot. We see sisters in the school coming against the Isupk, especially with our sisters. I hate to say that, but our sisters be having hella demons on them sometimes. You know, going up and down as a talebearer. telling all of these lies on these priests and prophets of the Most High in this school, in the Isupk. They walk up and down telling lies. Oh, this brother did me like this. Oh, this brother did that. Oh, this and that about this brother. He don't keep the laws. I seen they run up and down to try to destroy this house. They try to destroy the Isupk. They run up and down as talebearers do. You know, they tell lies all day. They tell lies and they tell fibs all day, every day. And they don't care who they hurt and who they destroy. You know, they just be wanting to get their way. And you know, the Lord right here in the law said, do not do that. Do not walk up and down as a talebearer. Don't do those things. Because them things tarnish your image once they're found out that they're lies, and they tarnish the person image that you done made that accusation against. You know, you making accusations against people that are false witnesses. You know, you cannot do that. That's a sin. You know, read some more for me, all right?
Kalawakan. Neither shalt thou stand against thy blood of thy neighbor. I am the Lord.
Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. You know, neither shalt thou, you know, commit any actions or false witness to thy neighbor. You know, you can't commit a false witness to your neighbor. Neighbor meaning Israel. Israel is your neighbor. The next black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Neighbor just means something that's close to you. You know, your family, your people that come from your lineage. Them are your closest neighbors. Them are your neighbors. The people that are close to you. You know, with that being said, read some more for me, all right?
Kalawakan. Verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
He said, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. You know, brothers up and down hating each other. They walking up and down the street just hating each other, mugging at one another, not having compassion on one another, jumping each other, beating each other up, shooting each other up. In St. Louis alone, this past week, man, little kids been getting shot, grown men been getting shot, elders been getting shot. They just been on a shooting spree, shooting everything in sight. You know, they're just killing people left and right. And the Lord said, you shall not murder. You know, the Lord is telling you that you can't commit these actions against your people. Once you commit these actions, that stuff dwells in the Most High hands. You know, that stuff dwells with the Most High. The Most High gonna give you repercussions for that. The Most High gonna take that up with you. You know, read some more from that verse for me, all right?
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
Yeah, you shall not anyways do anything evil unto thy neighbor. Like Christ summed it up. Everybody love to say in the Christian church and wherever all of these phony talebearers and liars and false witnesses are at, they tell you that the law is done away with. And all Christ did was sum the law up. He said, don't put no God above thee. You know, I'm paraphrasing. Don't put nobody above God. And treat your brother like you want to be treated. Once you do those things, you know, the Lord will bless you. But you gotta treat your neighbor like how you want to be treated. You know, you don't want nobody to sleep with your wife. You don't want your wife to be hard-headed and not listening. You don't want those things. So treat the next person like that. You know, treat your husband like that. Treat your wife good. You don't want nobody beating on you, so why you want to beat on your wife?
Right.
You know, different things like you don't want nobody to steal your sports car that's in the driveway, so why you gonna steal your neighbor's sports car? You know, we're just doing things to each other that is unbrotherly. You know, we showing no love towards one another. We're showing no favor for one another. You know, so with that being said, you know, drop that. I can give me Leviticus 19 and 27. You know, because we're going to get some more laws. We're going to learn some basic laws today that Israel should be keeping. Some of these laws Israel just doesn't keep. And I don't know I do know who told Israel not to keep them, the Christian church. They so diabolical. The Christian church is the house of Satan, the synagogue of Satan. You know, all Christians, that goes from Catholics to Jehovah's Witnesses to Baptists to Pentecostal to Seventh-day Adventists, you know, to all of that. You know, all of these different denominations under Christianity is the mark of the beast. You know, is what the Lord's used, what the white man used to continue to brainwash Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He used Christianity to brainwash them. You know, read that verse for me if you got it. And these verses is some of the main verses, laws that Israel cannot keep. Israel cannot keep some of these laws that I'm bringing out today. So read that for me when you get it.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads.
He said, ye shall not round the corners of your what?
Of your heads.
Of your heads. He said, don't round the corners of your head. Meaning, don't shave your head bald. Of course, if you recede and you're going bald, of course, you're going to try to dress it up to make it look nice. We're not talking about people like that. We're talking about people who just go along and shaving their head and trying to be like the heathens. You know, putting razors to their head and stuff like that, trying to be like the heathens. You know, of course, it's different strokes for different folks, but for the most part, you're supposed to look like a lion. That's why the Lord attributes us to lions and the lion pride, because that's how we're supposed to look. We're supposed to look like fierce kings of the jungle, right. But instead we look like homosexuals, trimming our beards, doing all of these gay things, trying to look pretty and shit. You know, that's what the Lord got our women for. You know, to look beautiful, to get all nice and pretty and cute. Like, that's for women. You're supposed to look like a warrior, like a priest unto the Most High. Like you got some dignity and integrity about yourself. Like you're not a homosexual. You might not even be a homosexual, but since you get your beard on, now you look like one. Or a pedophile. Right. You know, we call niggas without mustaches and beards pedophile. Like, he got the petty cut. You know, like he trying to mess with like 7 little boys or something. You know, the Lord don't want you looking like that. Like one of them. You know, read some more for me, y'all.
Neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard.
He said, neither shall thou mar the corners of thy beard. Meaning lining your beard up, lining your head up. You know, you shouldn't line your head up. You shouldn't line your beard up. You don't need to tame your man. I know a lot of people say that you should tame your man, but no, the Lord don't want you to tame your man. He wants you to be a man, with a man. You know, that's what he wants from you. You know, is there some more on that verse up? Drop that and give me Leviticus 20 and 16. Because we're going to keep getting into these laws. We need Israel to understand that these laws was created for our safety and for our health. The Lord created these so we could live longer and be stronger. You know, and we could pay homage unto him the right way. He saved us from Egypt. He saved us from Babylon, Assyrian captivity. He saved us from a lot of captivities. And what are we doing? Still doing the same thing we did 1,000 years ago. Still doing the same thing we did 500 years ago. Still doing those things. You know, we being whoremongers. We being adulterers. You know, we doing all the things under the sun. And the Lord said, things shall not change. I am the Lord, all things remain the same with me. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that's how you should be. The Lord kept these laws into place. So that means you should keep these laws also. You should continue to do them. And make the Lord proud for him choosing you. Because with him choosing you, you know, he could have chose any other nation of the earth. But he chose Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So with that, we should be happy that the Lord chose us. We should be happy that the Lord has favor with us. We should be happy that the Lord looks at the other nation as if he want to spit in a bucket. Right. You know, that's the Lord. We're not lying. We go out to our people and we're going to pass all of these foods out, all of this food out and all of these different things. But we're going to let you know that You know, that's what the Lord ordered us to do. Order us to take care of our people. That's a law. For us to love one another, not to hate one another. You got that verse for me, y'all? Go ahead.
Leviticus 20, verse 16. And if a woman approach unto any beast and lie down thereto, thou shalt kill the woman.
You know, we don't have a lot of problems with this. This scripture is more pertaining to white people. Because white people love to lay down with beasts. White people love to sleep with animals. You know, I'm pretty sure it's a few black Hispanics and Indians that's disgusting like that. But all they're doing is taking on the nature of the white man. The white man controls the world, he controls the earth right now as we speak. Not control the earth as if can't nobody put him down or take his power from him as if he's undefeatable or something. But no, the white man rules the world because the Lord allowed him to rule the world. He allowed the white man to be over us. You know, he allowed all those things to happen. So with that being said, you got that verse? Read some more in there.
Come. And the beast, thou shalt surely be put to death.
Right. Now you and the beast should be put to the death. The Lord said you and the beast will be put to death. He don't even want the animal no more after you didn't defile the animal. He said kill the animal too. The animal didn't do nothing. The animal probably didn't even want to screw y'all. Y'all getting turned down by pigs and horses. You know, pig don't want to sleep with you. You raped the pig. You literally raped the pig.
Right.
Like, you couldn't rape a human, so you raped the pig. You know, that's strange. That's nasty, really. There's nothing else to say about that. But give me Deuteronomy 5 and 16, because we got to understand that we got to keep these laws. If we don't, it means our destruction, no one else's. You know, but, you know, Shalakia for all the people that was tuning in or waiting for Sabbath service. We was running a little late for the Chicken and Waffles event that we were running. You know, that the ISUBK was running under Commander General Yohana. You know, so we was doing that little event for our people, passing out free chicken and waffles and things of that nature. And we're going to go pass out the leftovers also. But that's the reason why Sabbath service has been late today. So with that being said, get into that verse for me, y'all.
Khan.
The water.
Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 16.
Right?
Salaki. Chapter 5, verse 16.
Yeah, 5 verse 16. Shalom.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
He said, honor who?
Thy father and thy mother.
Thy father and thy mother. Honor thy father and thy mother. You got to honor your parents. You got to show love. You see all them children cussing cussing their mamas out, especially white people. They kids will cuss them out in a minute. You know, you don't get too many black mamas and black daddies that allow their children to cuss them out. But he said, honor thy father. That's not the only way you can honor your parents, by giving them things and doing stuff like that, but just being totally respectful of the things that they tell you and got for you. Now, no doubt, if your parents is, you know, is just all full of it and just not ready to come into the truth, of course, you take it easy on them. You have mercy on them. But for the most part, no, you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't dishonor your mother or your father. I don't care if you don't even have no AC in your car. You don't do that. You know, because the Lord comes first. So, you know, read some more of that verse for me, God.
Come. As the Lord thy God had commanded thee.
Right. As the Lord thy God has commanded thee. He commanded you to do that. He commanded you to take care of your family, to take care of your parents, to take care of your children. The Lord already did that. He know how Jake act. He know what Jake do. Jake meaning Israel. He know what Israel does. You know. But drop that and give me Deuteronomy 14 and 8. Because we got to keep going with these laws, statutes, and commandments. Because this is the Sabbath starter under Commander General Yohana and the ISUPK.
Right.
You know, so we're going to get into some more of these laws, because a lot of people are misconstrued about these laws, like the Sabbath. You can cook on the Sabbath. But a lot of people teach that it's a law that you can't cook on the Sabbath, and that's a lie. The Lord on the Sabbath wants you to do whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to run a marathon, go run a marathon. Because that's not work to you. That's fun for you. That's what you appreciate doing. So go do it. But just let them know what's happening. Just in case you know, it's just like Shalaki. Read that verse for me one more time.
Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 8. And the swine, because it divided the hoof, and yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you.
Right. That's wrong. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans cannot get enough pork chops, cannot get enough pig feet and pig snoot. That's not pig nose for people who don't know. They say that in here in St. Louis, pig snoot. Yeah, but, you know, they can't get enough of this unlawful animal. Like, pork is the best thing on the earth. Pork ain't even all that good. Once you ain't ate pork in a long time, you try to eat pork, man, you gonna throw up left and right.
Right.
You know, couldn't nobody sneak pork in my diet. Couldn't nobody sneak pork in my food because I'm beginning to throw up. My stomach gonna start hurt like if I got food poisoning. And that's what exactly happened. You've been food poisoned.
Right.
Because you ain't got no business eating no swan. You ain't got no business of eating that stuff. You know, but drop that out and give me give me Matthew 19 and 17. Because we got to keep going into these laws. We got to keep showing Israel that we got to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. We got to take care of these laws, statutes, and commandments. We got to honor these laws, statutes, and commandments because these are our laws and our statutes and our commandments. The Lord only gave it to us. So therefore we should cherish it. We should cherish these laws and all the things that the Lord blessed us to have that all these other nations doesn't have. You know, the laws is beneficial. The laws is keeping you safe. The laws is keeping you warm. The laws keep everything to you. Keep you from dying. Keeping you from the Lord having wrath on you. You know, because if Israel would do anything under the sun. Israel will do literally anything. If it wasn't for the laws, Israel would be doing everything and anything and following every nation. Every nation. When you get a read from me, well.
How I can. Matthew chapter 19, verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life?
Right.
Verse 17. And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good?
Now look, it's a guy that I believe it's one of the apostles came up to Christ and called him good. He said, Good master. And you know, Christ about to break a law down to the Israelites. He about to break a law down to the Hebrews. You know, Hebrew Israelites in the Bible. That's who Christ talking to. An Israelite. And he's about to break a law down for it. So if the laws was done away with, why is Christ breaking laws down? Why is Christ pulling out laws and hitting people with? Like, you know you're supposed to be eating pork, right? You know you're supposed to be doing this and that and that and this. Why is Christ breaking these laws down if they're done away with? We don't need the laws no more if they're done away with. You know, continue to read.
Verse 17. And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God.
See, Christ said, there is none good, or don't put none over you but the Most High. That's the law, statutes, and commandments. That's the first law that the Lord gave. Have no other God beside me. You know, don't put nobody above me. You know, don't put nothing or no one above the Most High. Right. The Most High comes first. And that's what he's trying to explain with this verse. That's all Christ trying to say. But of course, Jake in the world and Jake being hard-headed thinks that the Romans and the Italians and all of them are going to save you. La-ah. Never. You know, They ain't saving us. They can't save us. Only people can save us is ourselves. And that's by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, is it any more of that verse out?
Come on.
Go ahead.
But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
Look, Christ said, if thou wast to enter into life, that's in red, right? Them letters in red in your Bible, right?
Come on.
See, that's Christ talking out his own mouth. Christ is letting you know out his own mouth, keep the commandments. That's how you become perfect. That's how you become good in the sight of the Lord. Keep the law, statutes, and commandments, Israel, Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because you got to understand these are the most valuable things that you're going to ever have. The law, statutes, and commandments is the most valuable thing to have. It keeps you from dying. It made me a whole better person. I know what I'm supposed to be doing, what I ain't supposed to be doing. And these laws help me out. You know? So with that being said, drop that again. Was this more on there? Alright, cool. Drop that and give me Ecclesiasticus in our pocket. Ecclesiasticus 15 and 17. Ecclesiasticus 15 and 17. Because we're going to hit these laws down, let them trickle down into your mind. Every service, we're going to be talking about laws and helping brothers learn the Hebrew. We're going to be doing that every Sabbath from here on out. So with that being said, you know, Christ said that don't call none good but the Father. You know, ain't that the last verse that we read? Yeah, give me Ecclesiasticus 15 and 17. What, you know, we gotta keep these laws. We got to. Or all our people gonna continue being strung out and hooked up on dope and just being useless and wasting their life for it. That's all you doing is being useless. Black man, get up. Get up out of the dirt and fix yourself off, dust yourself off, get into this school and become a man. Like you're supposed to do. But instead you rather be a homosexual. Why? Why wouldn't you want to be a man of God? Yeah, but, you know, read that first for me, all right?
Ecclesiasticus chapter 15, verse 17. Before man is life and death, and whether him like it shall be given unto him.
Should I read that from the top again?
Before man is life and death, and whether him like it shall be given him.
Right. As so you do, that's going to be done to you. If you wicked, you're a wicked husband, and you hurt your wife every chance you get. But you know that sweet sister, she always there for you. She don't lie to you. She don't treat you bad. She always cooking for you. Give her own check and let you do the work of the Lord. You know, it's just like you got a woman like that, but you mistreat her. What you reap, what you sow, going to come back to you. You know, with that being said, read some more. Some more. All right, give me 1 John 15 and 4. You know, because you gotta understand how important these laws is. I understand how important they are. You sure understand how important they are.
Right.
You know, we all gotta understand how important these laws is, and these statutes and commandments that the Most High gave us, which makes us the chosen.
Right.
You know, read that for me, y'all.
1 John chapter 15, verse 4. Abide in me, and I in you.
Abide in who?
Abide in me.
He said abide in who?
In me.
The Lord said abide in me. That means get your counsel from me. If you want to talk about something, talk to me. If you want to do anything, I'm here for you. That's what the Lord is telling you. Listen to the Lord. If you love the Lord, you will listen to the Lord. You know, you would keep his law, statutes, and commandments. You know, Miss some more on that verse out.
Come on, gun. And I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself,
Right.
except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me.
Okay, read that from the top one more time for me, y'all. Come on.
Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine.
Right. Meaning, go ahead.
No more can ye, except ye abide in me.
All right, the Lord letting you know. You can no longer abide in the Lord. You know why? Because just like the fruit, an orange can't abide in on a grapevine. An orange can't abide in a grapevine. A pumpkin can't abide with a watermelon. Inside of a watermelon, it cannot happen. Therefore, it's some things that you must do to abide into the Lord. That's keep the laws, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
You got to keep those things to abide into the Lord. Because that's how the Lord is. And you being the children of the Lord, you supposed to do as he does. You supposed to act how he acts. You supposed to be like how he wants you to be. You know? So with that being said, you know, we're going to end the class. That was a short class. Sorry we weren't able to have a longer Sabbath service. But, you know, next week it will be a lot longer if we don't have any events coming up. You know, so with that being said, Shalom Israel. We are the Isupk under Commander General Yohana, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are not affiliated with no other camp. If you want to join the school, men get in all black, women call the captain or officer over your city, over your camp, in your nearest area. You know, and with that being said, Shalom Israel.
They don't want no ride. They don't want no smoke. Fuck.